Joiners. Great. Uh, we try to do it monthly. Sometimes we can, sometimes we cannot. But this is like a very good place for us to drop some of the new things that we have been working on, or even or launching. So we're really happy, and there's been a lot of things that have been happening recently with the company and with the products. So I hope to review much of that. There's a lot of material, so probably more than the time that we have. So I'm just gonna go after it and begin. Okay. Um, First, we would like um, to acknowledge that we have it recently at the CattleCon. It was the first time that Cattler was a exhibitor at the CattleCon. So we're very happy. We had a great movement and traffic. So this is part of what our growth, natural growth as a company. It was a great trade show for us. So we are ready in for next year with triple the space. So it was just great for us, and we hope that it's been great for all the people that had a chance to visit us. So as we hope, we always have the same agenda for this meeting. So what's new? What in our latest update? We have been having a lot of updates recently, and with a lot of big things. So some of that I'm going to show it in some screens. Some of that I'm going to just navigate it through one of our accounts, and we go from there. Then, of course, what's coming after this, and just some time for questions and feedback. There's a lot of material here. So this is all what we have to show for the first point. So we have just launched, you may have seen it in the media, we had partnered in September with Elanco. We are happy to have one of the Elanco members here, and we were able to finish up the first part of our interface. Basically, what we have done is an interface so we can be part of the Elanco benchmark program. So this is the first time that we are deploying it, and starting tomorrow probably, or the weekend, you will be able to see how I'm going to show it to you. So we have news on the EID reading side. We have news on the report side. This is something that we have been promising, like new reports that people are asking us for more access to information, to data in that regard. We have like a lot of news on how to download more information on a spreadsheet, especially when you're talking about the lists of stuff. And there's also some improvements on the another interface that we launched recently with the insurance company. So you should be able to see it now, since like yesterday we did and yesterday night we did an update. And there's a lot of small changes we just deployed with the purpose of help the ease of use. Just make it more simple, less steps, things that just improve the user experience in many different parts of the app. So let me go for the first one. Of course, the first one I would say is not the largest one, or one of the largest ones on this update, and we are talking about not less than the joining the Elanco benchmark program. As you might know, there's other software companies that are already there. We were very happy to be accepted there, and basically, what like our way to approach this program, and basically the benchmark program, what allows you is, as a farmer, is to have benchmark comparisons of certain metrics that you might have for your feed yard against a big pool database of other farms that are also part of the program. And that is something that is being organized by Elanco for many years. And every software company, what it does is just chooses how to deploy that information, to show that information, how to display that information. So what we have seen with recent experience is that we saw an opportunity to put in value the information the most we can by just segmenting the way you access that information. And the way for us to do so is just whenever you have a certain metric in your normal usage of the app, there will be certain moments where you can access to comparisons right at that moment. So just this, for instance, this screen, which many of you might know, is like our lots, is a lot main page. You're looking at certain lot, and there and there's a couple of metrics where you have that small Elanco logo, and if you tap into that, you will be able to see that specific metric for that specific lot compared to other either regions or other ranges of weight. So different features that are part of the Elanco database. So this is one example. We are comparing here ADG for this lot by region. You can pick other criteria against other regions. There's another one here in mortality. This is in the dashboard when you see also the Elanco logo, and all of a sudden you have a pop-up of this chart, and you can play with a little bit with the chart. This is another one in the closeout. You're looking at cost of gain, and then right there, right next to it, you can see how is your lot or your closeout performing against other cost of gains. So we will be adding a little bit more of that along the way, and especially a whole section, analytics section, where you will be able to play even more. But we think that this is a very good start. So this is this is an important news. I can just not to make it too long. When we get to the questions part, if you want, or if anybody wants, we can go and show you how on the real page. Or how? Why don't we do it just right now? Let's do this now. If you can see my screen here, you see that there's already a banner that is asking you if you want to be part of the Elanco benchmark program. So you tap here in learn more. Then there's a couple of options to sign up with. So let's say that we pick on benchmark, we confirm, and then there's a warning about the requirements that you need to accept to be part of this Elanco. So there's no cost for the farmer to be part of this, but you need to agree to certain conditions, especially in the purchase of rumensin. So you confirm, and then there's terms of service. So this is normal stuff, and this is related to how and what information you share. So this is not a white page where you just giving away all your information. This is just an agreement where you accept to share very specific parts of the information out to an anonymized database. So this is part of the terms of service. You can read it slowly. And then if you confirm, you will see that this goes to process. And between probably 24 to 48 hours, you will be probably accepted. And then you will be able to access to all the features that I just showed you. So coming back to the features, so there's another one, very recent also. At the cattle conference, at the CattleCon, we didn't even have that. So it's really, really recent from this week. So we are able now to read all of the AllFlex readers. The only exception I would say is the RS4220 that we haven't tested it yet, but it's the protocol is there. So probably this week or next week probably we'll have that one as well. But we have already the protocol. We're just waiting to receive the reader for testing, but all the other ones are already there. So basically now you can do all these shoot operations connected not only to the true test, but also to the AllFlex EI1 readers, and also performing any of the pen writer apps also connected. Pen writer functionality is also connecting to these EID readers. And in another news, we have also coming up Gallagher, all the Gallagher. We have already the protocols. We're just waiting for the devices to test with, and an alternative for UHF, which is HERDEX. So this is another one alternative that we're about to test as well. So we're very happy about that because this is like enabling us to give more alternatives for people to use the app in different ways and with different pre-existing technologies. So there's also another part of like a new wave of reports. Let me show you in here. So if you go now to reports, you will see that there are like some new reports out there. One of them is dead animals. So now you can see and download, if you want, a list of different diseases, of all the diseases that you have had. You might not see this, and we will do some improvements and adjustment to this, but in every column you have a filter. Sometimes it's just like a alphabetical order, or sometimes it's just more a filter of what things that you can, what categories you want to see. That is happening in general with all the reports that we are delivering. We have a new way to, well, this is the way that you have always seen the reports. There's another one now where you can see the reports more as a list that you can download it as a CSV. Some people have been asking us for a spreadsheet way to download the closeout. So this is an alternative version. The only disclaimer I have is we will probably unify this version with this version because this is a little bit confusing. It's something that we didn't realize at the correct moment, but we prefer just to launch it, deliver it, and then correct. The dead animal already. There's a Feedstock report now with all the stock that you have, and also with movements, with recent movements. We added shrink as something that well, this is wrong, but no worries. This is a demo account. Something that we have been asked more recently. So this is cool. And also you can download it as a CSV. You have also now health treatments. I think that we have already done this in the past. You can pick between processing. So this will be massive treatments, and this will be individual treatments. So that's it for reports. Then on our list we have Roku CSV download and lot Roku CSV download. So one of the things that we're trying to do is just to help users to have availability of their information from many different standpoints, even if the same animals, but sometimes you might be so far we have been allowing to download information more on a lot basis, but now, for instance, if you go to the yard sheet, which is based on a pen basis, you could go here and pick.
Ignacio, sorry, we have a question in the chat if you want
Yeah,
to.
go ahead.
Sorry, Caleb from Kansas is asking, in the dead animal report, can you search an owner of a lot?
Let me see.
That was one of the reports. Well, that's one of the new reports that we just brought in.
We'll figure it out in just a minute.
I believe that you can do it by the lot. So if you click on the top.
No, so it's not there, but we could add it if that's something that it wouldn't be a difficult thing to add. Absolutely. This thing it's so we are identifying an individual, so all the properties are part of this individual animal, so we should probably flag the owner of the lot to which the EID belongs. I think that could be possible. I'm just up in the air. So we are taking note of that, but not yet, not yet. So I think I was talking about the roll call. So if you tap here on any of these pens, you have now this, perhaps you know this already, or perhaps you don't, but you have this new tab where you have the roll call. So it's the list, sorry, it's the list of animals that are present in this pen, regardless whether they are part of this lot or no. Because if you're mixing lots or sublots from different from different lots, even from different lots or different sublots of the same lot, you will see them all here. So just by chance, in this case, you have all animals belonging to the same sublot, but if they were different, you would be able to see all this list and now download it here. So that's one thing. The other thing is now you can also, if you go to a specific lot, you can not only upload, but also download a CSV of your lot. So perhaps these are the same animals that were on that pen. Well, this is not the same example, but you can have the information in different ways, depending on the context where you are. So in another news, if we go just a sec to our list, we have what we call the Stockguard improvements, which are basically the improvements on our insurance area. So one of the things that we noticed is that many people didn't know that this was existing. So far, if you went to let's say to a lot that had its plan all defined, let's say in this case we don't have it defined, so let's go define it. So I'm assuming that this lot is going to stay 180 years, and I'm projecting as an owner that is going to gain 2.8 pounds per day, and so that gives me a end weight and end date, whatever happens first. So all of a sudden you have this link where you can see an offer for this lot. So one of the changes that we have done is that now we have this upper bar where you can see what is exactly that you're getting quoted. So you're just getting, this is a real quote right now as we speak. And here it's letting you know, it's informing you what are you quoting. One alternative would be fed cattle, which is implicitly what has been pre-selected here. You could also quote for fed cattle or even for swine, and also, well, this is a subcategory of this commodity, and also play with different marketing dates. So this is nice. But even if you're not here in this lot plan, at any point in time, and even if you haven't defined a plan, now this is also new, you can go here to any lot and make a quote right from scratch. Or if you see here on your dashboard, you can also do it from here. So it's more visible. I don't know, give it a try. There's no commitment, even if you make an order, if you quote, you click in here and you jump into Stockguard's web page, where you just can continue with this. And at any given point, if you have any doubts, you can reach out to us or reach out to their team, or just create an account with them and go from there. So let's go back here. So that's one of the other improvements. So now there's a lot of small changes that we have been adding. Some like just I don't know, just to help, or to help users to, I don't know, not like to have less clicks, or sometimes the feature is there but you don't know that it's there, or you want it twisted in some way or the other. So this comes all from feedback. So like you might have been one of the people that you might be one of the people that has requested this. So we are constantly collecting all this feedback and just putting on a liquidifier and put it on the app as fast as we can. So let me mention a couple of those, and just a side comment. We're gonna do a massive amount of videos in the short term, and I'm uploading them to YouTube. So you, like, regardless of attending of this webinar, you can explore yourself at your time on all the things that are there, because there's a lot of things new all the time. So sometimes it's just too difficult to keep track of it, even for us. So cattle management, sorting by column. I'm gonna pick a couple of examples here, but so let's say that you go to the list of your animals in your lot. So there's now the possibility to where's sorting by column? Yeah, you can sort them here. Well, this is all the same arrival, but perhaps
If you go to the cattle one page
here
before
with
that,
the
yeah.
tag, so by Russell sale barn in this case, or by weight if they were different. And in another note, this is another thing that we're gonna improve. And some people don't see it because it's not really visible. But if you click in here, you see that now you can add in bulk tags. If you're not using any tags, or you're using visual tags, you can go here and do bulk tags, and you could put a prefix. We have already talked about this in previous webinars, but this is something that, like, we still receive questions about this, and it sounds like, let me select them all. Yeah, there you go. So I'm just gonna do it right now. A 001 with 2 decimal. I can pick 3 decimals or 4 decimals, and that's it. And it automatically names them on the visual tag side of things. So save changes, and that's it. There's another one that is important. I don't have the video here. Perhaps somebody can. We didn't have the time to. I think we have the record, but I didn't get it on time. So one of the things that we have been claimed about is that many people, where they are loading and dropping on the very black screen that everybody knows, they will begin to load the first ingredient and they don't notice that they haven't tapped into the start loading. The same thing goes for start dropping. So now, if either you tapping to start loading or dropping, or tap into the ingredient when you're loading, or into the pen when you are dropping, you have already started. So hopefully that won't happen again. And that is a minor thing that has a lot of impact, because sometimes people, they go fast and they forget, and they, like, many times we found cases where they're, hey, just take this button out of the way, or just allow me just to begin with just by tapping on the ingredient or on the pen. So that's another important um new thing. It's a minor thing, but it's important. We also have on the feeding log, let me go there, I don't know if you have an example here. Let me see if we have some example here. But yeah, I don't have an example. I don't find an example here. But sometimes when people use the next day delivery option, some of the operators, they will get confused, or let's say that they didn't update the app and they are executing an order from a previous day or from the following day, and they don't realize. So you will see, if we can make it happen, but if we don't, like, you will see it anyways, that you will see a flag here in the date in yellow, where you will see that order was executed at a different date that it was stipulated. That's another improvement. Uh, Other improvement is in the so far in the phone version, we didn't have, when you would go to the edit, load and drop. So if you go here to the website, or you go to the tablet version, you see that, I don't know, if you're editing this, you have both the pens and the ingredients. If you go to the cell phone, up until yesterday, we didn't have the ingredient side. We would already have the pens. So that's something that we just added. So you should be able to see it right now if you have the updated version. Um, Also, another suggestion that received is to organize all across the app in any version, um, the order of the menu, so that right after cattle you have feeding, then you have animal head together with shoot, and then you have supplies. Hopefully that helps you. That's another minor thing. Um, Other minor thing is, when you're creating a new lot uh, in Catalan, um, sometimes people, I don't know, let's say that you're creating a new lot, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes people confuse the total weight with the average weight, and they will put the total with the average weight value, and then they have a problem with that, because all the cattle is 5 pounds on average. So we have done now like a certain validation. So if there's, let's say, I don't know, you didn't notice and you did this, when you try to confirm, you will receive a notification asking if you're sure, because that seems to be a little bit too light. That should help as well. And last but not least, um, when you go to expenses, so far we had some limitations, in the sense that, I don't know, there are some expenses that make sense, that are defined by per head, and some others that they don't. So sometimes people just want to put the total amount of the cost. So now, I don't know, let's say a freight. So now you can edit the total cost and leave that blank, because it's going to be auto completed, and that's it. We will probably make this a little bit more, even further, more intuitive. We're working on how to make it like simple. So perhaps you like when you tap into this, these two fields get auto completed as well, so that it's you don't have to make the numbers, you just put the total value. So that's all for all the updates that we have. If you have any doubts, we'll get there in a moment. What's in store for the next update or updates? I'm definitely not promising that all these things are going to come into the same updates, like most probably not, but it's going to be divided in 2 or 3 updates. So what's coming down the pipeline, there's a lot of important things. So there's Green Bank. This is something that we have been projecting for a while, and now this is the one of the big things for next update. So Grain Bank, you're probably most what I'm talking about. The ability for a feed yard to receive a load, to flag it as a grain bank, and then when you're billing it, to subtract it for a certain customer from their account, and connected to that. So now we will do a first version, so you can do it, and it will just do the math and do the billing correctly. Down the pipeline, very soon, we will have also, as we progress into more admin features, we will also make like more statements and account management. So a feeder that is custom feeder can also have more tools to manage his commercial relationship with his customers. We are also working intensively on easing all the catalog and catalog process, especially when we have individual tags involved. There's more and more customers that we are having, and members that are bringing their own EIDs or visual tags, and they are asking us like more flexible ways to close, even if you're not talking about close like about EIDs, but let's say that you're I don't know, harvesting cattle, and then you put all the rest of many different lots in one only pen, and then you want to close out. So far in the app, you cannot close out of the whole pen from different lots at once. So very soon you will be able to do so. If for anyone interested, I can show you a screen right now or at any given point. We're finally deploying, not now, in the next update, in between the next update and the following one, just not to overpromise, ration per head ingredients. So this is something that looks very, very simple, but it's very, very complex if you want to do it right. If you want to do it like not that right, we could just put it as an option and make a more or less calculation, and you will have a lot of problems with the real dropping of ingredients that are defined in terms of pound per head. I'm assuming that you know what I'm talking about. So this has a lot of this is a very small feature with a lot of impact all across the app. That's why we are being very careful, and we've been a while building this, because we have to reprogram many parts of the app. There's another big one. We are already able to connect to one of the big brands in the feed additive equipment industry. We're not going to release it now. We have already tested successfully, and we're going to deploy it in the next update. This is for next update. So basically, if you're a feed yard that has one of the micro machine equipments and want to work with Cattler, you will be able to do so all in the same process. For any interested, we can also show you a video of how that looks like, because we have done it already. We're just building the settings part of the app so we can support the process, but that is already there. So that's a big thing. We will be also adding more planning features, as we are getting there's some large mid-sized videos that are approaching us, and they're asking us for feature more planning. So let's say that we're gonna I don't know, we want to plan that we're gonna put a certain lot, I don't know, 20 days of adaptation ration, and then another 100 days in growing ration, and another last 100 days on finishing ration. So you will be able to plan that ahead of time and establish transitions. And that will give you also alerts. So, and eventually also automate those transitions. So that's coming down the pipeline. There's improvements in the shoot part, like just doing less steps, adding the processing log that we don't have it on air yet, adding a manual mode, just showing up there and do whatever you want. Giving more flexibility to do specific treatments along the way when you make decisions along the way that were not as defined on the order. More improvements in animal health with regards to also have less steps, have more flexibility when we are talking about like defining protocols based on diagnosis. So sometimes it's not the same. So I can do like go more in detail in a certain protocol, how this product has to be injected when this happens or when that happens. So it's more the vet part of things. Um, so I don't want to overload here, but there's a lot of things but on the pipeline. This presentation will be available, and so you can look at it and also send us questions. I think at the end of the day, what we are trying to do is integrate all the process, all the processes that are there at the farm in one only space, by integrating with all the things that are around there. And if you have been part of this webinar uh, recently, you have seen that we always post this image where we show what is the roadmap that we're following. We're going this direction. We are completing as much as we can all the offer of features for the feed years. We are going on to the cow-calf operations, because there's many of our members that are also grow yards. And there we are also doing these alliances with companies like Elanco, like Stockguard, different feed companies, where we can provide you with uh, more layers of services. There's been recently a lot of people asking us about insurance. So that's what we're doing. I'm open for questions or any feedback or comments that you might want to throw us.
Hey, I got a question for you. Got a
Hey,
customer. How you guys doing?
well, fine, thanks.
I got a guy that wants a feed every other day. Uh, you got any suggestions on how to do that? In other words, instead of feeding every day, he wants to feed him enough that lasts 2 days. What do I need to tell him?
Yeah, so there's we have a route of definition on that sense. We will do that probably with along with the feed planning. There's many people that they also work with self-consumption roles. So they will basically, it's the same situation. They will feed day on and day off. So we are preparing a mode of working where you can scarce and define, when you're defining it on the delivery plan, I'm gonna do it like every day. I'm gonna do it, I don't know, every 3 days, something like that. So we're that is still in the making, but it's coming for sure. You're not the first one to ask.
Okay. And then another question on when you have a ingredients, like a ration put together, and for
Yep.
some reason you want to drop one of the ingredients, do you have to cancel and redo it, or how does that work?
No, it's when if I understood well.
For instance, like I had one of them, I was adding water, and then I didn't want to add water anymore. So, but I had no way. If I zero the water out, it won't do that. I got to at least put in like 0.01. Is there some way just to take the water out
If you no, yeah, if you
when you edit?
just input your editing here, you can just unclick that ingredient.
Oh, okay.
That's it.
Okay.
That will eliminate it.
So just okay, go up there to choose inputs and then click on that. Okay, I see.
Yeah,
All
and you
right.
unclick it.
Unclick it. Okay, thanks.
Um, Any other question? I'm also I would like also to give the word to Spencer from Elanco if he wants to. There's some things around privacy or just the fact that they are here that we feel that are important to have them from them. If you want ask him or any questions, or Spencer, if you anytime you want to say anything, happy to do it. Happy to jump in.
Yeah, I'll just say that we're really at Elanco excited about this partnership with Cattler to provide data access for our mutual customers, those participating in Benchmark, and then those participating in Experior Data Services, and everything that a young, innovative company like Cattler brings to the cattle feeder segment. Let us know how we can help and be supportive.
Thank you very much, Spencer. Does anybody have a question regarding this particular feature with particular interface with Elanco, or any other question? Oh, okay, his header. Can you show how to edit the ADG for all the head in one lot, please? Would I enter the growth plan, as you showed earlier? Okay, so the way you do that, you go to one lot. Let me just, I want to have this question here. So there's a couple, no, there's a couple, no. So if you go to the lot plan, so one step back, you can always define a plan and just have it as a way to have an alert down the road. We haven't deployed it yet, but we will put some comparisons, like projected versus what I really got. So this has some uses. The ADG could be a way for you to project and then have an alert on whether this was as expected or not, or give you like an alert on whether you got to the end weight or to the end date, whatever happened there. Or also, this is in case you want to, let's say that you don't want to work with Cattler's projection model, because we are every day growing cattle, projecting the growth based on what you guys feed and bank score. But if you don't want to do that, you can always go to the settings, and in general settings, so let's not do it so fast. So you go to settings here, and in general, and there's some squares here. So if you go to the general settings, you have some preference. There's just a few now. We will add some more very soon. And there's this one, weight gain estimation. So you can pick the NRC Cattler model, or you can define it according to the growth plan. Once you do this, this applies to the whole feed year. So if you are using the NRC Cattler model for growth, and you define the growth plan, so which means this this growth plan and you define this, is not that it's going to grow your lot based on this. This will be just a point of comparison. But if you do it, then it will use this box here, this information here. Does it make sense, Heather?
Yes, that makes sense. So then another question with that would be,
Yep.
either way you have it, whether you use Cattler's or if you use your own growth plan, does that average weight right there, does that change as the month progresses and as they gain weight, or does that stay the same because that's their initial weight?
No, that should change. So the way we project weight is on an individual basis. So each day that you feed, at the end of the day, we take all the information on that, every individual of that lot or that sub lot. We have all the information on the feeding of what's dropped and what's been scored in the bank score if you did it within Cattler. And then we project individual by individual what each individual has grown, and this average weight is the average of those projections.
Okay.
Does it make sense?
Yes, thank you.
So let me rephrase that. That is the average of those projections compared to the last day. Then you get to this. So it's the addition of the yesterday's weight for each individual, added the new weight, and then an average of the whole lot.
Okay.
That's what it is.
Got it. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Heather. Caleb, can you show how to set a default for your feed ingredients, their order they're in? Yes, there's a couple of ways to do that. If you go to, this is something reasonably new. So far, you would do it so far, I mean, up until not this update, but the previous update, you would do it on the loader drop order. So you would tap here, freezing there, and then you change it, and that just gets the same for every day. So you don't have to change it anymore. But now you can even go a step back and go to the ration management and do it the same way. So let's say let's pick another one with more ingredients. Yeah, here. So now if you do the same, you should be able to
Have to press sort first.
sorry, what? So what?
Press.
Oh, yeah, sort. Then now you change it. There you go. And that cascades into any load and drop order that has this ration. I think that was for Caleb. We have another question from Brad. Can you set an alert for the length of implant when they expire? Yes, we can, and we are more than happy to do so because it is not only useful, but it's also easy to do for us. So we have a system for alerts that is kind of agnostic to how we set up the alert. So it's kind of easy for us to set up alerts. It's just the work of just defining a criteria for setting up that alert. So length of implant. So when you're talking about the expiration, you're talking about the expiration of the date in which they should be implanted, or the expiration of the implant itself, if there's any. I'm assuming the former. I'm assuming the former. So yeah.
When they implant, I give a 120-day implant. I want to know when that is done to re-implant them.
Okay, yeah, perfect. Absolutely, that's what I thought. Okay, yeah, we can absolutely do that. let us see how fast we can do that.
Okay.
There's another question here. When you transfer counts from one pen to another, will the program always make a subload, or can you just somehow make it show up the same lot number? You can merge, like, naturally, if I'm not wrong, naturally the program will tend to create a new sublot because it needs to keep track of that that piece of the lot belongs to that lot. It's not that important, the sublot per se, because it's just operational, but it's just a random number to remind you that it is part of that lot. If you put them back, you can always merge them instead of putting them and just keep the two different names, if it makes sense. We're working to see how easy to do that, but it's kind of, so far, it's the best way we found in which we can keep track of everything. So instead of transfer them back, you merge them. So that's an option in transfer when you do a transfer. We know that sometimes this page is not that intuitive, so we're working towards like simplifying this, especially this thing. The sublots are extremely helpful if you only move part of a lot to a different pen and need to keep track of it. That's exactly, that's what we have. Like, there's some people for which this is very useful. Some people it's like more of a, like, it's bothering, but we're just trying to find the middle ground. Thank you, Heather, for your comment. There's another comment here, Chance. You can schedule your processing on a lot multiple times, reimplant, etc., through treatment planning. Yes, I'm not sure if that is a question or just a comment. Oh no, yeah, he's reminding us that if you go to treatment, you can define a treatment, and
Yeah, protocol. Nacho, I think it's a protocol that you can put with two different dates. So that should be
no, it's here. I think it's here. You
right.
have like these two shots,
Right.
and you can put a date, and you should have an alert there. If you haven't done it, if you don't have that alert, there's a bug. And what I mean by bug is an error of our software, and we can fix that. But I think that you were referring to when you effectively have done it, so you can know that this treatment has been completed. Yeah, I have the comment. Any other comment or question? If you don't have, or if you think about questions down the road, just let us know. You know that you have Santiago, Sam, Ryan, myself, all available. We are adding a couple of members to the team, especially for customer support, so you can have like even more help at your fingertips. We will, as I said before, we will upload a ton of videos over the next days. So just keep us asking us, but because you're helping us to improve. So thank you very much, and thank you for taking the time to be here today. Thank you, everybody, and thank you, Spencer, from Elanco, for showing up here. Thanks, guys. Oh, we have a question. We have one more question. We're gonna ask it. I'm gonna respond it. When creating a protocol, can you add medications, disease per and the weights? Yes, you can. No,
Not right now.
No, not right now. Next update. Yes, next update. We have had a lot of people that asked us recently. So that's definitely in the next update. It's one of the little things that is not in that list, but it's coming anyways. Thank you, Ray, for your question. Thanks again. Thank you for everybody. It was great. We love when we have a lot of questions. So more than happy to answer them and more than happy to be working with you. We're very excited about what's to come. Thanks.